and welcome to We're Obsessed, a pop culture conversation pod here on the Ringer Podcast Network. I'm Jodi Walker.
And I'm Nora Princiati.
And Nora, last week I gave a sort of, or no, not last week. Famously, we're a 2-episode-a-week podcast. On Wednesday, I gave a sort of fun and flirty tease that I thought I might be getting sick and I thought I might have broken my toe. And I'm thrilled to report I'm very sick and my toe is black.
Oh my gosh, Jodi.
And you did offer for me to ice it before we got on air on Wednesday. I said no thanks. And
will you ice it today for me if it's black?
No. I'm on so much cold medicine, I can't feel anything.
Please?
It really, it hurt a lot yesterday. And today, it looks like Dumbledore's finger or Dumbledore's hand from Harry Potter. It's just, but not, I don't think it's broken. I heard if I can bend it, it's not broken.
Okay.
And you might be wondering, Jodi, what did you do? Just rammed it into a wall myself. Nothing.
Just want to give you a hug.
I'm doing great. Except actually, Nora, I was just planning on theming this week Too Cursed, Too Curious, because on Wednesday we had a pretty illustrious Cursed Corner, and then things have only gotten way worse. And then you came in from left field and were like, hey, I got a theme for this week. And I'd love for you to tell me what it is.
Well, the theme of the episode, I've decided, is the American experiment. But
Too Cursed, Too Curious.
Too Cursed, Too Corner is, if those aren't synonyms, I don't know what world we're living in.
Absolutely. We have a lot of, here on the almost 250th anniversary of our dear country, we have a lot of news coming out of America. Most of it cursed, most of it corner, some of it at Madison Square Garden.
That's the theme. A lot of news coming out of America.
A lot of news coming out of America. Frankly, I'm just hoping I can get through this podcast without contracting the explosive diarrhea parasite, but we'll see.
Looking at you, No Con.
Nora, is there any, before we get to, more poop news, frankly, is there anything good happening in your life? Anything good going on?
I got one good thing.
What's up?
Actually, I have two good things. The first good thing is that our guy, Erling Haaland, he's back at it again.
He doesn't stop. He's not back at it. He just doesn't stop.
And specifically, he's back at it in a manner that relates to him going to Texas and wearing a cowboy hat.
Okay, I know I've been talking about Texas a lot lately, but I would like to
welcome it.
Report some news from the surveillance state, which we talked about on Wednesday with the Kylie Meta glasses. A couple of people have been reporting, including myself, that we have been getting targeted HEB ads despite not living in Texas, just because we talked about it.
Okay, also, my friend Tori was telling me a little bit more about HEB. I got to get myself there.
You got to get yourself to HEB.
It sounds amazing.
I would say that comparing it to Wegmans was divisive. Someone who worked at corporate HEB said, great connection. We actually are friendly and kind of exchange being amazing.
Like sister grocery stores.
Yeah, exactly. Tuition exchange. And then a lot of people who love HEB were like, you're a bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, why don't you run your mouth somewhere else, babe? And to those people, I say, okay, I get it. And I should have spent my $50.
DMs are a mess right now because I was a little bit of a see you next Tuesday about Taylor Swift's wedding on every single album on Tuesday.
You're so brave, Nora. You are so brave.
It was a brave thing to do and I stand by it. I really love the idea.
You're like, I'm brave and I'm scared.
You and I are kind of going through it in the same way. Mm-hmm. Me for commenting on an extremely famous and controversial figure in popular culture, and you for comparing HEB to Wegmans.
And I do think that, it's very scary to have the state of Texas both with you and against you, but it's actually much scarier to have the global enterprise of Taylor Swift with you and against you.
Well, I can't speak
I recommend cold medicine to get you through it?
I can't speak for the global enterprise of Taylor Swift, but I think that the great state of Texas has to be with our guy Erling, who has posted to Instagram. He's wearing cowboy boots, shorts, a t-shirt that says, y'all can kiss my Dallas.
So
although
good.
the way that I would read it, it says, y'all can kiss my Dallas. Which
I didn't give it the ass. I was just like, y'all can kiss my Dallas.
The thing that's amazing about it is that it only makes sense if you're Norwegian. The joke works best if you are, in fact, not a native English speaker.
Right.
and he's wearing a 10-gallon hat, and he's at a hat store, and he seems to continue to be thriving.
I got to tell you something about this first picture, but everybody's going to have to get really cool really fast.
You texted this, and I want to know what's going on.
You know, that's just like a thing that people say basically when they think something or someone is hot. And I know that I've been on the record as not thinking that all adult male blondes are hot. And I have been on the record as struggling with Erling's particular hairstyle, but also from our Spotify comments, someone had some updates about that. Perfectly addressed. Perfect sisters, I hate to inform you, Erling Haaland will probably not cut his hair, as a former soccer star, Zlatan, told him there is strength in the hair and cutting it diminishes his strength. This Samson-ass lore, he is biblically keeping himself trapped in this hairstyle. I don't think he has to do the Amanda Batula bun.
I don't think, I think he could just wear it down, but I guess the Batula bun does help him get it off the back of his neck.
Right. And see, here it's down and he's got the 10-gallon hat kind of covering some of it up. He's got his big old tree trunk legs on display. That's good for me. I love this guy.
I love him. All right. The other thing that's great before everything gets cursed is...
I like the idea of a two good things segment. Just two good things before things get bad.
We were talking about Erling Haaland the other day because he brought me a new to me and newly important to me, even though it happened 2 years ago, viral vernacular. Sorry to all the perfect brothers and sisters out there.
I haven't stopped thinking about it or saying it.
We've got a new one.
Yeah.
We've got a new one on our hands. And I would say that this is one of my favorites yet. This is from the Twitter user Gnock.
I think it's like gnocchi, but Nyok.
Nyok 290438. Responding to a different user, Hannah with Fur, who posted, I feel like even in Woke 1.0, we never really reconciled that the villains in arguably the two most critically acclaimed horror films of all time are men who dress in women's clothing, that each film goes to great lengths to say are absolutely not transvestites. Do you want to offer any commentary on the original text here, or should we just move beyond it?
I feel that the commentary offered is similar to what I would say, but mine wouldn't be as good.
Hannah is referencing Psycho and Silence of the Lambs, just to be clear.
Okay.
Nyok responds, this has been talked about extensively. You're just 21.
Yeah, I needed to hear that a few times at 21, I think.
I needed to hear it more than a few times at 21. I think there are a lot of people who need to hear it now, and I will be using this one for the rest of my life.
There is something that's been happening for a while. Like it's not new. I don't want to say it's new. I don't want to give that preface. We're always giving a preface that's like, this is underrated, or this is under discussed, or like, why is nobody talking about? That is the current iteration, is like, why is nobody talking about? And it's like, there isn't one damn thing in our current culture that is under discussed. Everything is being discussed. Someone gave me a podcast microphone. Anyone can get one. It's all
also
being
the
discussed.
Majority of the time, what we're discussing is discussion. We cover the discourse more often than whatever the discourse is originally about, right? It's like, what does it say about you that you think this thing about this thing? And it becomes a snake eating its tail so quickly. And I think part of the reason this has been so viral and is because it is such a perfect encapsulation of sometimes we just need to come back to reality. And I think Knock really helped us all with this. It also has been revealed that this person is a perfect poster.
Nyok?
Nyok is a perfect poster because their last three posts.
This has been talked about extensively. You're just 21.
Including. This has been talked about extensively. You're just 21. And then, look, I don't endorse this, but it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to pull myself together. At Xfinity Support, do the world a favor and firebomb your offices.
You know, you shouldn't bully other people, but you can bully a corporation.
And then, I don't endorse this either, but it's on theme for the episode. From June 7th. 1 retweet, 17 likes. I hope the USA explodes.
New York isn't happy, but they're often right. They're not doing well.
Making some solid points.
Might also have a summer cold, New York. I think, I don't want to get too deep here about this has been talked about extensively, but you're just 21, is that I think like when you're 21, you are discovering so many things for the first time and you want to feel special and like uniquely intelligent. And then I think as you get older, you feel sort of like bolstered by when you're like, am I the only person who's ever thought this? Or like, am I the only person who feels like this? And then you learn that everyone feels like that. And it feels good.
None of us have ever had a single original thought in our entire lives.
And like when you're 21, you want one. And when you're in your 30s,
and you're always
maybe
so
onward.
excited when you feel like you might have just grabbed a hold of one. You just got to tell people about Psycho.
I was thinking about this earlier this week too when we were recording, and now I can't remember why, but I might as well just go ahead and plug Bestie of the Pod, Sophia Benoit, has a new book out that
hell yeah,
everyone should order. And I went to her New York City book reading, and it's a historical romance fiction swoon. And she kept talking about how even though she has literally been like a sex and relationship writer and journalist for like the last 10, 15 years, the whole time she was writing the sex scenes in the book, she just kept thinking like that everyone was going to be like, oh, actually, Sophia, that's not how we're having sex. Like, actually, you're doing this wrong.
You're doing it weird.
You actually completely misunderstand how sex works.
We're all doing it cool and you're doing it weird. And you just told on yourself in your own book that you're doing it weird.
To my knowledge, she has not had that feedback yet. And I don't believe she will be receiving it. But I understand the fear of being isolated. And sometimes you just gotta hear, this has actually been talked about extensively. You're just 21.
Go buy The Very Definition of Love.
You guys, you have to buy it. Oh, Sophia's the best and the best writer.
We love her.
I'm so excited.
We love her.
That was really good news, actually, to now have to pivot into the Great American State Flop. We're finally, I can't believe we've gone this long without talking about the Great American State Fair. We did talk about the reflection pool, which has only gotten worse and is now caged off from even, reflecting upon.
And it is literally like the movie trailer line, from the people who brought you the reflecting pool, the Great American State Fair.
It has been so bad. Like, it is Arrested Development camera work of just, fucking Dr. Oz out there and Dean Cain out there being like, no, there are a ton of people here.
There's so many people here.
And you gotta hand it to the TMZ DC reporters. They sensed when they were needed that we needed TMZ boots on the ground at this point in our political system. And they got their best there. And I believe it was Charlie Cotton who did the epic pan of when Dr. Oz and Dean Cain are talking about how amazing the fair is, or the crowd is at the Great American State Flop. And he just pans that camera around to the National Mall, frankly, emptier than I've ever seen. We've both lived in DC.
Yes.
Emptier than I've ever seen it in my life.
There's always a softball, after office league going on there.
And I know they're going to want to tell me that everyone's just in the booths. But I don't think everyone wants to be in the booths where all the lobster expired,
Yeah, I've seen pictures of those booths.
Also
I've seen
empty.
pictures of that booth from Maine where they didn't send anyone and it's just a couple of facts about Maine and a couple chairs.
What have been your favorite visuals from the Great American State Flop, Nora?
I mean, I do think that the weaponization of the 360-degree camera pan is a beautiful sight to see. it's also like these people are, I think Caroline Leavitt posted a bunch of photos of herself and her family there. And like these people are not good at strategically taking photos so that it looks less empty than it is. Like you are all telling on yourselves. And I guess for that and only that, I am grateful and certainly laughing. I think there was as I think is pretty apparent for anybody who listens to this podcast, I would say at least 60% of my media diet is New York Magazine newsletters.
Sure.
And there was one about this where the headline was the arc to try harder next time.
They really know how to do it over there.
And that was a banger for me. And the arc that is a bad 6th grade paper mache project is
the arc
really
is Mitch
special.
McConnelling. Like it is every second of the state fair getting worse. Like because, and it was the thing, you know, that President Trump was like really staking his claim on is this like amazing art. And you can see like the mock-ups versus what ultimately came together and people being like, this Timu ass art, like this fucking Willy Wonka ass bullshit of like what they finally made. I mean, I know I've been talking about theater a lot lately, but this is having just been back in my high school auditorium, allegedly reconstructed in an entirely different building that I couldn't tell. Remembering the janky ways we used to put things together because we had a public school budget and a high school education halfway. That is what this thing looks like.
It's really bad. It's like startlingly bad. And then I loved the moment when the caulk started oozing out of
the caulk is oozing.
The caulk is oozing. The caulk was oozing out of the sides of it. Yeah, not great. The ice melted. They didn't have all the ice cream melted, and they didn't have ice.
Amanda Moore on Twitter did like a full 2-minute long filming of the arc to really show like every puckered, oozing detail. And it really is like every single angle is I'm just watching it. It's like so uneven. I do think though that my favorite 360 pan is in the David tent. You know about the David tent?
Like the protein?
No, like the
if wishing made it so.
I guess like the biblical character. It's where they're playing, you know, at the nonpartisan 250th birthday of America. It's where they're playing Christian music and have a baptism dunking tank. And so there's like a pan of like the empty dunking tank over to the empty audience seats while
they're not asking for babies.
I don't know what they're asking for. I don't know who's getting baptized at the 250th state flop. But they're welcome to be baptized in the standing stagnant water if they would like to be.
Do you have to like throw an apple?
What is your understanding of baptism?
This is more dunk tank related than baptism. But historically, my experience with the dunk tank is like usually it's gamified, and if you hit
maybe it was me saying dunk tank. It's just a pool. It's just an above ground pool.
Oh.
Where one could be baptized. And I'm like, the gospel tent at the New Orleans Jazz Fest is like one of the best tents there is. They could have done something different here. But no one wanted to come. Famously,
nobody wanted to go.
Musical
no one
acts,
wanted to go.
Except for who?
Donnie threw a party, nobody came. What else is new?
I'm mad at Flo Rida, I'll tell you that much.
I know.
But I think that could lead us into what I am calling Too Cursed, Too Corner. Times real headlines that sound fake. Times America. Times, as someone in our comments called it, sneakers in a dryer news. Because it's all related.
Which actually does make sense to me in this context because we do have a story that is about diarrhea.
That's right. And I think you can spiritually feel how they're all diuretics otherwise as well. This real headline that sounds fake from Polymarket. And frankly, I'm mad at myself for letting Polymarket like break news to me. But here we are. It's kind of like, did you see that? And this actually literally happened for me, that a lot of people were having the news to them broken that LeBron James is leaving the Lakers by discussing film, tweeting, Teen Titans ghost star LeBron James is leaving the Lakers. Literally how I got the news.
Discussing film has some bangers now and again.
They really are. I mean, I'm going to do it, but underrated, under-discussed Twitter account discussing film.
Yeah.
Pop Grade gets a lot of the credit.
Yeah. And even
film.
like Pop Bass gets in the conversation now and again, but discussing film is an unsung hero of our times. Or perhaps an unsung villain.
Right. They are news for us, for sure. But this is Polymarket. I just liked the way they phrased it. A parasite that causes explosive diarrhea has reportedly spread to 20 U.S. states. That's right, guys. We finally got one. Just for us, United States. You've heard of parasites. This one's our very own.
How many states is the Great Divide Tour in?
That's a great question. I do want to clarify for those at home thinking, well, could this have been a case of Cyclospora cayetanensis at
Nailed it.
Noah Khan? Thank you so much. That does sound, I'm going to give it to them. They gave that a parasite ass name. That sounds like a parasite.
Yeah.
No, the witnesses really wanted to clarify that this was not diarrhea that happened at I'm sorry, I didn't give the content warning again this time, but content warning. We're talking about explosive diarrhea because we have to, because we live in the United States. I don't know how many states, enough for people to contract this.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that it's a correlation, not causation.
I guess, I feel about this. I liked it in that way of like, of course, this makes sense. We're in hell. But I'm also a little bit like, don't most parasites cause explosive diarrhea?
Yeah. Honestly, 20 feels low. I get that they're just talking about this one, but I would venture to say that all 50 states and perhaps even the territories have some form of parasitic being that could wreak havoc on your...
I think the sort of scary thing is that it is spread amongst these 20 states in a way that's like difficult to track. So historically, this parasite has come to us by way of people traveling and bringing it back, or by food. I would also love to give it the credit that it is responsible for the 2018 outbreak of tainted McDonald's salads. That affected and infected nearly 400 people. But all of the cases in the United States no one has traveled recently. So like, it really is.
The call is coming from inside.
It really is boots on the ground here in the United States.
Feels like we're having particular issues with critters recently.
Critters have been an issue.
Like there's the whole thing about all the ticks in the Northeast that are making people, giving people the disease where they can't eat red meat. There was an issue with possible flesh-eating bacteria coming from the oysters in the Hamptons earlier this summer.
That one, I support that one. That one's like the whales tipping over yachts.
It's the whales, yeah.
There was, of course, the rat feces causing hantavirus amongst us. I want to say that anecdotally, I feel like I've been seeing more rats than ever and braver than ever.
Sweetie, that's called moving to New York City.
No, elsewhere too. In Atlanta. And like, that's not like a particularly ratty, I mean, just...
Yeah, I don't think of Atlanta as...
They've been out.
Interesting.
But it's true. My anecdotal evidence is quite varied, meaning not good, not journalistically appropriated. We have been having critter issues. If you're getting your news here on We're Obsessed, which I really would not recommend, just make sure you're washing your produce really well.
Yeah, wash your produce. Wash your produce for sure. Get that salad spinner going.
Yeah. Some baking soda in the mix. As you can imagine, I'm not very diligent at that type of thing, but I'm trying to do better. I can't take another hit.
I'm like, this is a tough one for me because I'm the type of person that believes it's like good to eat a little dirt once in a while.
And it is, but not the wrong dirt.
Not the wrong dirt. You just got to be really careful.
We were just talking about this, how like sometimes you need to get a little sick to hope that I believe that ever since I've started taking zinc daily, I really have not been sick in a very long time.
Oh, Bobby has zinc things that he swears by.
That's one that as a woman in STEM, I have no way of knowing if it's true. But anecdotally, I feel like my zinc has really I've like felt my body fight off some things. And following the Waco High School reunion, my body was not prepared to fight. My knees were weak. arm spaghetti, etc. Nora, you tell me how this makes you feel. Adrien Brody is back with some more artistic endeavors. As you put it, torturing people with his art again.
And I still can't spare $1.
No. And I gotta hand it to Alex Greenberger at Art News, who has been staying on Adrien Brody's ass.
Yeah, he really is.
He will not let this man breathe, and I appreciate it.
Breathe or decoupage.
or collage. He said, the jig is up. As his article in Art News said, Adrien Brody's latest art monstrosity is a mural for the Raising Cane's in Times Square. This is
and let me just say that Adrien Brody and Raising Cane's are two entities I never expected to meet.
I do think maybe you should have, though, because they do both have a sort of Ed Hardy flavor to them. As I understand it, I don't understand Raising Cane's culturally. I don't know where it comes from. I think it's the place where you can get an entire cup of like its dipping sauce, like a drinking cup of. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that to you without a warning. I'm realizing what I did.
Jodi, I'm upset.
I didn't say ranch. I said dipping sauce because I don't think it's ranch. I think it's like how every chicken place has sort of like a signature sauce that's all kind of the same. And you can get it in cup form basically so that you can dip like the full tender in there. I'm sorry. Nora's rebooting. Give her a minute.
Yeah, okay. And I guess also it's where you can see this mural where it looks like something that I would have collaged out of People magazines in 2003.
Speaking of being young and needing to feel special, I mean, when I discovered decoupage,
when I was glue
fresh,
stick, a pair of scissors, and a dream,
and fresh from Michael's with a new thing of Mod Podge,
you couldn't be stopped.
Nothing
you were
more
invincible.
Important my allowance money could buy me than a little bit of Mod Podge and a dream. I do believe that I made a collage after 9/11. I Mod Podged my way through it.
Stop. Does it still exist?
I don't know. I bet it's somewhere, like in my parents' basement.
Like, did you have the towers?
No, I can specifically remember that. This just came back to me.
Oh my God.
There was like a big strip that said anthrax. And that is precisely what Adrien Brody's collage feels like.
No.
I was like, I'm going to get through this. And you know what? I might just get America through this if I can just get this collage to the people.
You gotta work it out.
I can imagine.
Work it out through the art.
Yeah, you got to work it out. And as I was like blowing on that piece of construction paper, waiting for it to dry, I was like, if I could just get this published in Times Square, I think I could bring this country together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That just made my week.
Well, you're so welcome. I just remembered it. I needed the cold medicine to unlock that memory in me. And also this Raising Cane's mural in Times Square. I'm sorry, it's so dumb.
It's really bad. It just mostly has like different versions of the Raising Cane's logo or just the words chicken fingers collaged on top of one another.
I gotta read Greenberger's full description of it. Brody's Raising Cane's work, titled Cane's Anthem. You guys, this thing is huge.
It's huge.
Continues the pop light aesthetic, utilizing phrases and images that appear to be culled from the mass media. Anthrax. That was my ad. There's a giant American flag, the words "Winner, winner, chicken dinner" printed in a font that recalls advertising, a big Raising Cane's logo, and Labradors wearing bandanas emblazoned with the Enterprises icon. There are also pieces of the playbill for The Fear of 13, a play that starred Brody earlier this year making his Broadway debut. He's part of it.
He's part of it. He's essential. And he does sign his name on his pieces really in like in big letters. It says Brody in the bottom corner.
I would love to know how I signed my 9/11 collage.
I would as well.
Did I dot my I in my name with a heart? Probably.
I really deeply hope so.
Like, I'm also thinking about like there was a time in my life where I thought my signature would be really important. Like, I got to nail this thing because I'm going to be giving it out.
I'm obsessed with the way that like he really, Alex Greenberger is really going there with this because he goes, all these elements are made to look ripped and weathered as though they were plastered to the wall of a building on a city street. That tactic may situate this work within a lineage that includes Jacques Village and Mimo Rotella, artists who used swiped, torn ads during the post-war era. But Kane's Anthem comes off as a budget version of those artists' work. This is I love this as an example of sometimes the best thing that you can do if you want to expose something for what it really is to take it really seriously, to take it every bit as seriously as Adrien Brody wants you to take this.
Okay, yes, exactly. Because then, like, we also get Brody's words about it. According to Brody, Kane's Anthem is a tribute to Raising Cane's founder, Todd Graves, whom Brody called a friend in a statement. Brody claimed the work, quote, I want to be very clear, quote, echoes the grit, perseverance, and entrepreneurial spirit that defines Graves' journey, the spirit of New York City, and an urban aesthetic that has always spoken to me growing up here. At its center, the iconic Raising Cane's global flagship in Times Square emerges as a beacon of ambition and community, illuminated amidst the visual energy of the city. I'm like,
to be clear, Raising Cane's is from Louisiana.
That's what I don't. And then there's a really great picture of these two, of Todd Graves and Adrien Brody, toasting under a sign, a neon sign that just says fingers. I assume it says chicken fingers if we panned out a little bit, but like, and they both look very brought to you by Ed Hardy. So it's like, they're not exactly bonding over being from New York City, but they are bonding over having gotten really wealthy in their 40s, I think. Okay.
And yet again, Adrien Brody is positioned at a tilt. He is never straight up and down. This man is never upright.
I've always got my eye on head size. You've always got your eye on Adrien Brody's tilt. I never notice or know what's going on.
He is the leaning tower of man.
Is it just that he's so lithe?
I think maybe like a stiff breeze can...
Because Todd Graves is leaning too, but it's not as noticeable.
More,
hardy way.
He seems as though he's still kind of planted. Whereas Brody, it's just, he's always doing this.
Listen, if anyone gets eyes on this Raising Cane's mural in Times Square, or if anyone wants to send pictures and videos of themselves dipping a chicken finger directly into a cup of dipping sauce to Nora Princiati at noraprinciati.com, feel free.
It's not a website that exists.
Google it.
Google it.
Okay, some more extremely messy news. I want to say that TMZ got the exclusive and the photos on this story, but Vulture really took it to its edge with this headline, a real headline that sounds fake to me. Karamo Brown and Jussie Smollett, two messy gays, are reportedly dating. Smollett broke up with his fiancée earlier this month. Happy Pride. That is the full headline. On the last day of Pride Month.
The last, the online headline starts, messy gay news, :
Not a segment I believe that we can appropriate on this podcast, but that does occasionally cross our desk when two such pop culture characters as Karamo, and now I'm trying to remember if we ended up talking about Karamo, who I just always call by his first name, Karamo, but is Karamo Brown. When he was sort of doing his like sort of PR tour, when he had a People Story about when he was launching his app.
And also, wasn't it it was sort of to at least refer lightly to his issues with his time at Queer Eye.
Okay, well, this is the thing, is that like, as I listened to a great segment on Who Weekly, what a great podcast, that really went in depth on Karamo's People exclusive. And they pointed out that when there's, like a big headline story in Vanity Fair or New York Magazine, like it comes out when there's an exclusive, a cover story, it comes out like that. When they do it in people, they sort of release it in batches to like create like constant influx to the website. And so like within this exclusive Karamo cover story, there was what had happened at Queer Eye, and that there was like a basically like a sexual harassment investigation that was ultimately cleared, that had not been publicized, that then Karamo sort of got out in front of and publicized. There was that his time, like he didn't do the press tour with the rest of the Queer Eye guys for the last season because...
Including like dropping out of being on a CBS mornings appearance, like extremely last minute, such that Gayle King started it off by being like, we call it the Fab Five, but one of the Fab Five is not here.
And he's
it's not funny. Some of this stuff is serious, but like it's a little funny.
Some of it is, but it is all also circled around that at that time, like the reason this People exclusive is happening is because Karamo is launching his wellness app, which features an AI Karamo giving you wellness advice. And I cannot recommend enough finding that Who Weekly episode and listening to Bobby Finger try to utilize the AI Karamo advice.
Oh my God. I'm going to seek that out.
He is not yet woman in STEM. He needs to get a woman in STEM to get that AI going. So like and then the final bit of that People exclusive, which is when I finally caught it, is that he's coming forward about his botched buccal fat removal. And for years, Karamo has been saying that he had nothing done to his face.
Yeah.
When there are like pretty evident aesthetic changes.
That's a hard one to conceal.
Yes. And with the People, he gave photos that show like when he was really going through it, which I think was also part of not doing some of the publicity. Yeah. And talks about having this botched buccal fat, but he also goes to pretty great lengths to say that like buccal fat removal is not plastic surgery. And I'm just not sure what our defining mechanisms are here. Yeah. Anyways, that's what's been going on with Karamo. And only to find out that he's now dating Jussie Smollett, who just broke off his engagement like 30 days ago with another actor. And of course, most famously staged a fake hate crime in 2019.
Most famously. Was in the news for doing that and like pretty epically and publicly getting caught for like not just making it up, but having staged it, like hired two men to attack him. And so he was convicted, but then it was overturned. Yeah.
And so he is out here and available to date Karamo.
We're at the end of this episode. We're going to do our ins and outs for summer.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'll say is that one of mine kind of has a relationship with this news story.
Can't wait to find out if it's an in or an out.
It's an in.
In dating Karamo. The photos that TMZ captured exposing this relationship are very funny because Karamo is wearing the rich uncle hoodie.
Yep.
Which I know is like a whole thing, but also he's a father. And it's interesting to have the rich uncle like brand sort of Trump being a dad. There's also a sign in the background that says, "Warning, stay clear."
It's on biblical. Like an automatic gate.
Yeah. And just that they got it in on the last day of Pride Month. I support.
Yep. Under the wire.
On an opposite note, I also support this coming on the first day after Pride Month. On July 1. Oh, I haven't practiced these names, Nora. You better go for it.
Ivan Kuznetsov and Angelina Nicolaou.
Wow, effortless.
Here to help. They climbed the Empire State Building. Do you know who these people are?
No, but I now know that they were in a documentary about, basically them, called Skywalker's: A Love Story.
Yeah.
That Richard Lawson reviewed at Vanity Fair, and I read the review and I was compelled.
He liked it?
He liked it, and it was also sort of a case of taking something kind of insane seriously, but then coming out on the other side being like, this is actually really compelling. It really makes you think about influencer culture and the extremes it's going to. These are also two really interesting people. She comes from a circus family.
Yeah.
And so you can see how she got here. And that it really becomes a story about her. And at the time, they were just dating. And now, since they snuck themselves up onto the Empire State Building, they got engaged up there.
They're engaged. Yeah, and what they do together is they call it roof-topping.
Yeah.
Which I actually think is an inadequate descriptor for what they did because they got on the spire.
They got on a spire, and I have to ask you this. Has no one seen the 22 survival thriller film Fall?
Not me personally.
Wow, because I sure have. Couple of gals get themselves up on a spire and they do not have a good time.
They do not have a good time, but these two had a great time. She was up there taking photos of her manicure with her ring on.
That was so funny. I was with a friend who was on the phone, and they came back and they were like, yeah, my dad was just talking about two people are climbing the Empire State Building in a way where it's my dad be saying stuff, And I was like, okay. And then I got on Twitter and it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
And at that point, it takes a while. So at that point, they really were just climbing the Empire State Building. And then, of course, they unrolled a banner. When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. Okay, Noah Centineo, go off.
Go off.
I was pretty uninterested at that point, and the proposal pulled me in.
I think that there's something, I saw somebody online point this out, and I'm sorry I'm not attributing proper credit to this, but that there's something very European about staging an incredibly complicated, this isn't necessarily a protest, but a public showcase with a message behind it. And then the message is something like, it's Mother Earth, not Father Earth.
I did see it being described as a protest, and I literally Googled, what are they protesting? And it's a little bit like Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial in that way. They're just
the state of things.
They're just trying to bring things back together, everything, including themselves.
It's also these two people, I think most of us look at this and go, on one level, not stars, but spire climbers, they are not like us. You would not catch me up there. But then you see the photo of her holding her engagement nails out and looking at her ring and taking the photo of it. And it's and yet we are one and the same.
This girl literally got
she's hey, my finger's shiny
for it. And the pictures of her from drones. I love the photo. So they're documenting all this stuff on social media. So her carousel that has honestly pretty cool picture.
Well, and also their whole vibe I would describe as Charlie XCX Friends. That is visually what they look like.
She wears a Catwoman mask to do her big climbs. And she's always in they're both in all black. She's in a corset.
A bodysuit.
It's very Russian Friends of Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
And so but the pictures from afar of her taking the photo of her ring are so funny.
They're so funny.
Girlhood.
Also there were news copters just flying around up there and being hey, wait, what's going on? Did you listen to the thing of there was somebody at Air Traffic LaGuardia?
No.
It was being communicated to them and just the issues in trying to explain what's going on. I would seek it out. It's very funny.
Okay. I'm excited about that. This did fulfill something in me as a child making 9/11 collages. I was also very obsessed with
Anthrax.
Anthrax. I was also very obsessed with tightrope walking and its, storied history. And this does feel of a thread. And
I feel like tightrope walking was important to me too as a child.
I know. And like now I'm not going to be able to.
kids and thinking about tightrope walking?
Well, there are so many things that you think might be important to your future. Tightrope walking, the Bermuda Triangle. You and I talked about that.
I feel is the canonical
is like a very popular one. When I told you I was in Bermuda the other week, you were like, of the triangle? Yeah, I think I'm in it. Who knew? There are just some things you're like, I gotta, but like for me, what was that? There was a movie I used to watch about tightrope walking and also a book I used to read that was very in line for me with like A Secret Garden and A Little Princess and this old ass movie about tightrope walking.
Can people DM us if you have ideas about what this is? Because I too feel that I consumed this at a young age.
And I don't want to use AI. I just want my friends and readers to tell me what I'm thinking about that we all used to be obsessed with and watch. I enjoyed this. I also enjoyed like knowing a little bit, they had to do a little bit of heisting to get in there. Like they had to slip through a restricted maintenance hatch.
Yeah.
And I just like to know that people are doing that.
Well, and again, it's like there's something very charming about people with the ability to do this. And there is a little bit of heisting involved, but these people probably could do a real heist.
And I would like them to.
I'm not against it, but
maybe
what I'm saying is that there's something charming to me about instead of choosing to do that, they're going to the top of the Empire State Building to profess their love and unveil a banner with a loosely attributed Jimi Hendrix quote.
And the thing, like what you're describing is so pure and charming that I know, segue incoming, that their intention was not to upstage Taylor Swift's Madison Square Garden wedding. And
people are professing love in Midtown this week.
The romance is alive in Midtown Manhattan. Can you believe it?
It's 105 degrees and everyone's saying I do.
I'm going to get engaged in front of the Adrien Brody Raising Cane's mural. And it's going to last.
Literally at one point we had a conversation that was like, what are the weirder places other than Madison Square Garden that Taylor Swift could get married in New York? And like we didn't come up with the spire of the Empire State Building.
Or, I mean, we didn't yet have the Adrien Brody Raising Cane's mural in Times Square. That's like that's still a perfect curse spot. Nora, I bet you've already talked about this a lot, but I need you to tell me. So, okay, you love to peel back the curtain. We're recording on Thursday, July 2nd. This will be coming out on Friday, July 3rd in the morning. So where will we find ourselves in the Tay-Wedding weekend?
Well, the rehearsal dinner
is tonight,
which
Thursday
takes
night.
place tonight at the Infosys Theater at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, is that a diarrhea parasite? Because unfortunately, that is what Infosys sounds like.
No. Everybody's going to be okay. That will already have taken place. They are hosting 100 guests for a rehearsal dinner at the Infosys Theater, which is like a small venue where I think they do a lot of boxing.
Okay, but
inside Madison Square Garden.
This wedding has made me feel like a real fucking idiot. And that's fine. I need to feel like that sometimes. But I saw a photo of the Infosys Theater and it's just chairs. So like, what are they going to do with all those chairs? And is it also not on an incline?
So the chairs are on an incline. I think maybe they'll just use the platform. I will say something that's happened over the last like day and a half, I would say. And again, we're recording this Thursday afternoon, is that for the longest time, like this was a rumor and it was a prevalent rumor. I remember my Every Single Album co-host, Nathan Hubbard, brought this up in April, that it was going around LA. And then it started to be like in Page Six and it was around until the end of last week. It starts to be sourced. Like there is a 5 byline piece in the New York Times that's like, it's happening. So it starts to be solidified. Then like 2 days ago, I would say the dam broke in 2 ways. One, there's just so much going on to prepare for it that they can't keep everything under wraps. Stuff is being loaded and into the garden. Coverings are falling off trucks, so people are seeing stuff. But then also Team Taylor has started talking a little bit. And they have confirmed that this is happening and this is what it is. People magazine, which like is known to be a favored publication where they will drop stuff, has been in my inbox.
You know, so Adrien Brody and Kane's Chicken have a certain Ed Hardiness aligning them. There's a certain Disney adultness aligning people and Taylor Swift and what's happening.
Well, and so sometimes if you are in media, you will get emails from the PR departments of other media outlets wanting to make you specifically aware of particular pieces of reporting. And I have been getting it's two exclusively sourced items in People. One is just trying so emphatically to say Madison Square Garden is not going to look like Madison Square Garden. Describing it as being, quote, transformed. And there was a line where the source that they were quoting said, "You've never seen it look so different," which I thought was sort of funny because I've never seen it look different at all. I've never looked at the garden.
Seen it look like Madison Square Garden.
And been like, right, that doesn't look like Madison Square Garden.
It is me walking into my high school. Looks like Madison Square Garden to me.
And then today, which I actually did appreciate, there was some reporting yesterday in TMZ and Page Six that they were building a castle inside the venue. And whoever's talking to people from Team Taylor would really like to make sure that everybody knows that there's not a castle, which I have to say I appreciate because the castle detail sent me over the edge.
Okay, this is news to me. Being broken here, there's not a castle.
There's not a castle. There's apparently not a castle.
What do I make of the staircase that I saw being taken into Madison Square Garden?
It's for something else.
I'm
not saying that it's not for the wedding, but I guess the theme is like Enchanted Garden. I'm gonna have to like look on my phone to tell you what this says, but here we go. People exclusive. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, not building castle at Madison Square Garden, but setup is, quote, very special.
I believe it.
Not a castle, but it looks very special, one source tells People exclusively. They have grass, carpets, and canopies, and it looks like a place where you'd get married. There's a stage setup, but it's special. A second source confirmed that Swift and Kelce will not have a castle inside MSG. Absolutely not, they say. There's no castle being built. Not at all.
That is so funny because like it is all this like very direct language about it is not a castle. And that is to combat my exact thought, I'm sure, which is why not rent out a castle?
Right.
But all the language outside of that is this looks like a wedding. You're not going to believe how much this looks like a wedding. And you're not going to believe how much this doesn't look like Madison Square Garden.
It's funny because it's like, I really hope that Taylor Swift is not online this week or frankly most weeks, but somebody is. Somebody's checking the comments.
Oh, yeah.
And look, like, I want to know how you feel about this. Because for me, I've felt sort of intermittently like, yeah, it's Taylor Swift. What does anybody expect? She's not going to have a big over-the-top kind of glitzy fairy tale wedding. Like, who do you think that we're talking about here? And then I'll admit that there have been some moments when I, as a person who, you know, likes to feel like she's taken seriously and would like to sometimes combat some of the ideas that she has not been able to get past high school and that she's not necessarily the most sophisticated person, have felt a little vexed by some of the decision making. And ultimately it's her wedding. And if it's what she wants, that's what makes it a success. But I would like to know, I think all of that, when you were talking about how so much of what we talk about is actually not the thing itself, but it's the discourse around it. I think I have started to feel myself being swept away in the Taylor Swift discourse of it all, which tends to be pretty thorny these days. And I would like to know where you are, because I wonder if you were like on slightly safer territory.
Well, really where I am is that like I've never gotten to really have like a Taylor Swift conspiracy theory because I'm not a Swiftie in that way, but I have fallen deeper and deeper into like, this is all a ruse. I have been like, it must be a ruse. As I watch the baby grand piano be taken into Madison Square Garden, I'm like, no fucking chance. Like, and as I watch, like frozen lobsters and
here's my
French
question.
fries.
Is that coming from a place of it must be a ruse because I can't understand why someone would choose this?
Yes, it is because I really can't understand it. And I know, and I can hear any Swiftie who, and I believe is fully coming from a good place of like, I just want Taylor Swift to have exactly the wedding that she wants. And the wedding that she wants is in Madison Square Garden. And so therefore I want that too. And I'm speaking for me, Jodi. I also want her to have the wedding that she wants, but there is something like unfigure-outable about that it couldn't be anywhere else. There's nowhere else that you could get this amount of privacy. Like literally the busiest place in.
Well, so here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. I think if they were to have a smaller wedding, there are other places that they could do it. Because yes, they can accomplish a lot. I think there are reports out there that she has invited the Knicks starting five.
Okay. Like, also, did you see, and I mean, I don't know, this guy could just be like an absolute notorious liar, but that video of old Charles and Harvey at TMZ are like interviewing this guy, Anthony Chapin.
Yes, that old guy.
Who is a celebrity memorabilia collector who just outright says that he is going to Taylor Swift's wedding. And they're like, on air, they're like, even these guys are like, what the fuck? And then he starts to give some
no, you're not.
details about it. And then later he clarifies that he is going as the +1 of a woman who was invited to Taylor Swift's wedding. I have to feel that both of them are not going now. But really all he said is that like the wedding and the party are not in the same place and that presumably like the party is in Madison Square Garden. But I think actually the thing that I most have trouble wrapping my head around is the desire to have such a big wedding. Like,
yes, that's how I feel too.
Something so big that it needs like the infrastructure protection of Madison Square Garden. Because from what I understand, getting married, like having a wedding is amazing and kind of exhausting. And like the social aspect of the reception and of greeting everyone and seeing everyone and like having to be like whisked away to a private room to eat at 1,000 people, that is magnified.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be clear that this couldn't possibly be less about me. And Taylor Swift, from reports, is going to have a private performance by Stevie Nicks at her wedding, which means that
I understand.
Her wedding is better than my wedding. Let me just private performance by Stevie Nicks. There, done, gavel. I had around 160 people. Over the course of 3 days of events, by the end of it, I was like, okay, we did it. Like we felt like we experienced that milestone with all of these people that we care about. And I have basically gotten not just, hey, hi, how are you FaceTime, but like at least some moment that felt real and like we were spending time together with almost everybody.
It was wigs in the photo booth.
It was wigs in the photo booth.
That was our special time.
That was our special time. And on Friday when we did an engagement shoot together.
Also our engagement shoot. I will reveal these photos when Taylor Swift gets married.
I actually just got them, by the way. I have them for you. We look cute. I can't imagine because Taylor Swift and I are so different in so many ways, but we actually do, though she uses them far more productively than I do, we do have the same number of hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so at a certain point, that's where I'm just like, you're not going to be able to speak to these people. It'll be like you didn't. And also if they're having the ceremony somewhere else and then going and doing the big party, something that I'm like a weird hardliner about, get married however you want. But like, I think it's nice when your guests see you get married. Like actually witness you get married. I think there's something beautiful about that.
Yes.
I don't know. It's not what I would choose, but if it's what she wants, great. I also think that there is something about Taylor where part of her weird alchemy of powers is that she's not giving you what Dua Lipa is giving you. she's not giving you, I'm in Matthew Blazy Chanel, and it's like inspirational and aspirational in a way that is particularly, it's international, it's kind of urban. Like, she has a different relationship to iconography than that. And sometimes I bump up against the choices that she makes for that. And yet I do believe that it is in part why she is where she is. And so maybe that's how you have a Madison Square Garden wedding.
What she's doing is not aspirational. It is like defining. And at this point in her life and career, it is defining of Taylor Swift and like the entity that is Taylor Swift and the career that is Taylor Swift and like the cultural icon that is Taylor Swift. Like, only she can define that. And like, she just continues to shape it and like blaze that trail out in front of her. And I think my main take on the wedding at this point is like, it's not just discourse around the discourse. It's discourse around the discourse of something that hasn't happened yet. So like, all we can do here on Thursday is just, wait to see what happens on Friday and then wait even longer for the like publication in some regard of how things looked in there. I have 2 questions for you.
Please.
One, how do you think we will find that out? Like, how do you think the public will be invited into this wedding in some way? And 2, what do you think she'll walk down the aisle to?
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. I mean, I wonder if the down the aisle is going to be where Stevie Nicks comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and this is where like her mind is crazy. I don't know that this is necessarily an Easter egg. It might just be evidence that she really loves Stevie Nicks. But as you remember, at which game was it? Was it game 4 or game 3 at one of the Knicks games where she showed up with the Haim girls and brought the shirt for Mariska Hargitay. She was wearing the Stevie Nicks pun shirt. So Taylor Swift in her wedding venue is referencing, she's combining iconography that relates to Stevie Nicks and Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, at her wedding is that an Easter egg that Stevie Nicks is going to perform as she walks down the aisle? I don't know. It wouldn't shock me.
I do think that like the only thing I know about Taylor Swift is that nothing is an accident. And so it feels related to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. You were locked and loaded on that one.
I don't think she'll have, maybe this is hopeful because this is what I think it would be strange to walk down the aisle to your own music, but she has great songs. So maybe, but I think that she won't walk down the aisle to her own catalog.
I don't think so.
It would be a bit odd.
How do you choose a darling?
Yeah.
Also, most of her best songs are about heartbreak.
Yeah. And unfortunately, unless she would like to walk down the aisle to You Know How to Ball, I Know Aristotle, or Would, she doesn't have a deep catalog of Travis-inspired love songs that really...
On this note, can I read you a tweet that must have come? It came from like a Swiftie account with like a name so deep in the paint, I couldn't even write it down. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. But it did sweep me away in romance. The concept of Taylor Swift turning Madison Square Garden into a rose garden instead of having to pick between fame and romance, like the lucky one implies. ... I kind of love it. IDK. Parentheses. Sorry, inconvenience New Yorkers.
Okay, I will say that's the thing people need to get over. Like, she's gonna... Do you have a point of view on this? Like, if it's a bad thing to shut down the streets? It's not like she's not paying for the permits.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think like if the city lets her do it, then that's on the city. But I am curious about like how inconvenienced people will be and how much this disrupts like basically getting to Penn Station.
First of all, what I will say is my theory is not very. I don't think they're closing 7th or 8th Avenue. Okay. As far as I can tell. I think you will still be able to get in and out of Penn Station. Beyond that, they close streets in New York quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes part of living there is just being inconvenienced. And I will also, there are there are a lot of things about this wedding that stop me in my tracks. I don't want to like stand up here as the great defender of everything that she's doing here. Something that I do not think that anyone can deny about Taylor Swift is that she has a long history of paying people who help her create her fantasies quite well.
Right?
I personally feel that New Yorkers and the city of New York, I think that we are going to come out of this. I think our end of the bargain is going to be just fine.
You feel like we will, as taxpayers, be ultimately benefiting from how much she has put into the community?
I think at the very least, we're going to break even. I think it's going to be fine.
You think that the staircase being brought in generated enough New York artistry money to make up for some of these streets being shut down?
I think that first of all, I think she has to pay to shut down the streets.
Sure.
I believe it's like $66,000 a block for some amount of time, and they're doing it for more amounts of time. Like they are going to be paying the city a large amount of money.
That's so nuts.
To be able to block these things off and have the police presence that they're having. I'm not completely blind to the criticisms here. I'm just like, first of all, I don't think that there's any version of this that could exist that people wouldn't find some way to have a problem with. Like if she flew everybody to a private island.
Right.
I think that there's a lot more downside
tough
to that, but it wouldn't interrupt anybody's ability to be on 33rd Street on a summer Friday at 7 p.m. when it's going to be 105 degrees out. Like, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. That's what I'll say.
Nora, you've invoked the weather, which means that I have to read another tweet that I really enjoyed from Pamela. Thank you for having a name. I can read Pamela. Taylor Swift asked that it be 100 degrees on her wedding day because she's keeping it 100 on the land, the sea, the sky.
I think that's right.
I really like that.
I think that's absolutely right.
Okay, last question. How do you think that we are going to be invited into this wedding? How are we going to find out about it?
I will not be invited.
I mean, how are we going to see pictures? How are they coming to us?
Yeah, I mean, what would really prove my point is if she did a People magazine spread.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that she will go quite that grocery store aisle. You know, the easy answer is that she would want to be a Vogue bride.
I think what would really prove her point is if it's just an Instagram carousel.
I think that's very likely.
Is like that she has complete mastery over it. Nobody else gets to put it out there. She puts it out there with the millennial caption of her choice. And I get to experience it like a not close friend whose wedding I get to see on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, or the crazy answer would be Disney Plus.
The crazy and not that unlikely answer would be Disney Plus documentary.
It would be Disney Plus.
All right. Better fire up that subscription.
Can I say one more thing about this?
Yeah.
One thing that I love is that TMZ got a hold of one photo from Travis's apparent bachelor party, and they're so excited about it. And it's just a photo of Travis Kelce holding his sunglasses just down the bridge of his nose a little bit.
He looks like a character from Hey Skeeter. He looks like Doug Funny. This picture is nuts.
This picture is crazy.
Unfortunately, actually, they do have something on their hands. What is going on?
Check out the never-before-seen image from Travis's batch party stop at Barney's Beanery last month. He's inside the famous establishment with his brother, Jason Kelce, wearing sunglasses and a backwards hat.
He looks like a ghost from the 1980s. Oh, that's the close-up. There's the further out shot.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. He's having a good time. But I've seen like talk of his bachelor party. Has there, like, do we know at all if she did a bachelorette?
I believe she was in Rhode Island with a bunch of gals.
Okay. Cute.
Sounds
fun. Sounds
very
fun. Sounds fun.
One of my friends is in Westerly right now and was posting just like sunset photos, and it looked beautiful.
So nice.
So nice.
Stars and your friends, they're just like us.
Just like us.
But Nora, we are the tastemakers around here, and it is time here in July to do our ins and outs of summer of 2026. Nora, do you want to kick us off with some ins and outs of summer 2026?
Yes. I will say that I had a really easy time coming up with my ins and kind of a hard time coming out with my outs. I'm in a real live and let live kind of situation here. And
very chic for summer.
That was apparent to me when I was coming up with the list. I don't know. I do want to tell some people what to do, but I'm not in a space of telling people what not to do.
Well, sort of, that's not an in or an out for you. Telling people a little bit what to do is evergreen.
In for summer, but all the time, telling people a little bit what to do.
Lifelong, a little bit telling people what to do.
I'm just going to be a little bit telling you what to do.
Because they need to hear it.
That's what I think. Yes, I'll kick us off. You know what? Funny that I was mentioning my friend Betsy, who has beautiful photos from Rhode Island. This is a credit to her. In for summer 2026, the drink of the summer, I would say, the Chinar Spritz.
Okay. Describe the notes of Chinar to me, because I've had it and I can recognize it on a bar. But I forget
First of all,
what
it's made out of artichokes, which is so fun.
I'm so sorry. My first instinct there was to say, first of all, fuck off. Unfortunately, fuck off.
Okay, unfortunately, that's my preferred vibe. That's actually what I'm going for all the time.
Oh no.
I'm never happier than when someone is telling me to just fuck off a little bit.
Okay. I'm with you.
Like sitting on a patio drinking a Chinar Spritz, being told a little bit and with love to fuck off. That's my idea of a perfect evening. The notes are, it's like a little floral, a little vegetal. It's less sweet than Aperol, certainly, but it's not as bitter as Campari. And I find there to be something, it's not citrus, but there's something that has a more explicitly tart note to it, or at least once you have the full spritz. And I like that in a drink. And so therefore, I like a Chinar Spritz.
Well, and I do like about Chinar that it's dark. And so when you have it in spritz form, it kind of feels like you're drinking a Diet Coke. If anybody just wants to, declass this artichoke drink a little bit, I like the look of a darker spritz. This is funny because I almost said in for 2026, although I want to be clear, I'm not saying that this isn't an official in, as I had a Bizarro spritz recently.
I don't even know what this is.
I didn't either. It's an Australian aperitivo that is also, it is citrusy like Aperol, but it's like a little more botanical maybe to me.
Cool. And
I really enjoyed it. I just think also in for summer 2026 spritzes, they're so good.
Yeah.
So,
I've been doing Campari soda sometimes, which I know is an acquired taste, but it's nice. And it's so light.
I think this really goes along well with your artichoke spritz and just, living your summer life. In for summer 2026, skinny dipping. I feel like it's been off the menu and I want it back in.
Back on.
I want to be jumping into bodies of water au natural.
Are you, do you want to be doing this during the daytime or strictly once the lights go out?
I feel like when duty calls and it feels legal. That's when I want to be doing it.
Okay.
I want to be doing it at every opportunity, probably in the nighttime. Although, I'd love to have one daytime skinny dip by the time summer's over.
Yeah.
And I can keep you up to date on that.
Being nude in water is awesome.
Nothing better. Nothing better.
It's great. It's just great.
And I think it's something I was doing a lot more when I was 21 years old and annoying. And I want to bring it back.
Okay. I think that's great. I think this is a really nice in that's also a goal.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of my ins are goals. And some of my outs. Can I give you an out?
So mischievous. Yes, please.
Because I think it also sort of goes along with just you saying like you had trouble coming up with outs, and I a little bit did too. And this one comes from some sourcing with my friends. Caring too much out. Not caring completely, but caring too much.
Too much.
And you know when it's too much. Yep. I know when I'm caring too much, and I could simply draw the line. In drawing the line.
In drawing the line. I think that's amazing.
When you're circling and circling. Out for summer 2026, caring too much.
I was caring too much yesterday because like I was in the weeds with the discourse about the Taylor Travis wedding. And then I was like, am I being mean? Am I just snobby and mean? And then I was like,
it's a tricky one because occupationally we are called to care too much.
Yes. And also like, I do think that there's a specific, how am I still talking about this? There's a specific argument of like, actually the tacky thing is to talk about somebody else's wedding, where if we can't be doing the pros and cons of different ways that people get married, we're not living in a shared reality. Like if you can't go to a wedding and be like, this is what I liked, these are the things that I noticed about my experience, we're not on the same planet. I'm sorry. Like I'm not going through life in the same way. But I was caring too much and I needed to stop. And so I think this is really a great one.
Well, stopping was very in of you.
Thank you.
Because caring too much, unfortunately, was very out.
Okay. Can I give you an out?
Yes.
I think this is going to surprise some people from me.
Okay.
Out to me for this summer is needing to get on a plane to experience Euro summer. I
agree.
think like we have Euro summer at home actually.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we had it at home last summer somehow or the summer before. This summer we have it at home. We have it on the street. We have it like when you're at a cafe and you just are with your friends and you're outside and you're just doing that in your home. I just think that somehow that vibe has crossed the pond.
I do think it's like an out on the street at a bistro set in cafe chair summer.
Yeah.
Drinking an artichoke spritz or a Bizarro spritz if you'd rather.
Again, like I think that the coolest place that you can do that, I can't believe that I, Nora Princiotti, am saying this. And by all means, go to Italy. You'll have a fabulous time. But I just think that the energy has changed. And doing that at home is the coolest way that you can do it.
And this is something, and like I'm caring a little too much about this, but in a journalistic way that like I'm really kind of trying to unravel right now is this like need to have the perfect European vacation summer sandal is like, what's taken us there? And why are we always like recommending a sandal for a circumstance that might not exist? And how can we back that up a little bit? Like, how can we maybe slightly undo what we've done? And I do think it's like taking my perfect sorrel on the road around town and experiencing spiritually my own European summer. Like find the perfect sandal if that is what you want to do, but you don't have to take it to Europe for it to live a good life.
Yeah.
Which might sort of bring me to my next in. You know that I feel complicated about finding the perfect white tee because it is not something that I require, but I feel like we've done it. Nora and friend of the pod, Olivia, did it. It's the Coast white tee. This summer, I would like to be finding the perfect white dress. I feel like I never get to wear white dresses because I'm never getting married. And I look great in white and I love it. And so this one's a little bit Jodi news for Jodi. But I want this summer to be living a white dress summer.
And what specific type of white dress? Do you want something that's sort of like flowy as if you're running through a field of lavender white dress? Do you want something that's a little bit more like Yummy Mummy Country Club crisp poplin?
I want to achieve the perfect summer white dress. So I want both and I want all things and women can have it all. I do think I want it to be like a little bit crispy, but I also I want it to be a sundress that like I can just wear to an occasion because I think that a lot of the white dresses I had for a long time were kind of a dressier white dress. So then it's like, well, how in your adult life, like a lot of the dressy things you're going to are weddings and therefore you cannot wear that.
Yeah.
And so I want like a perfectly casual white dress that I can just like wear to drinks or wear to dinner that feels summer appropriate and a little bit festive. And like I'm a little bit dressed up, but not too dressed up. And I do think that the perfect white dress, maybe different than the perfect white tee, is very different for everyone.
Yes, definitely.
And so in for summer 2026 is finding your perfect white dress to feel so summery.
I love it. And it's like you can keep it for a long time.
It's for my in-house European vacation.
Yes. This is what we're doing. Okay. I'm gonna have thoughts on this, but I'm gonna collect them and get back to you at a later date.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is my in that actually you could apply to several news stories that we've discussed today. I think you could apply it certainly to the Empire State couple. I think Taylor and Travis in a lot of ways, and indeed to Karamo and Jussie Smollett. This is in for summer 2026, giving a lid for every pot couples the credit they deserve.
Because you know what? When I read that Karamo and Jussie Smollett headline, I was like, okay, good.
Yeah. No, sometimes people are messy in their own rights or strange in their own rights in different ways. When those two people find each other, I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. I was recently somewhere where there were a couples who were fun, and there was one couple that was a little difficult to be around. But the two of them, they really made sense together. And I do think that there's a beauty in that.
You don't know what's happening in their house. And if you did, you wouldn't get it. But they do.
You wouldn't get it. And I don't want to be around it, but they do. And I think that's really wonderful.
I really like that. I think it's empathetic and supportive.
Can I clarify that I don't know the people that I'm talking about are not in my personal life at all. So if anybody is listening to this and nervous, it's not you. It could never be you.
It's not you. I love your boyfriend. I love your, what our reader said about like, can we please have like some non-Lockheed husbands? Are there any husbands who don't work at McKinsey? It's not him. It's not him.
It's not him. It's not
you guys. We love you. You're a pot in a pot. Okay, I think that this maybe goes along and could actually be kind of like a goal, an out goal. No more national dating. Not for summer 2026. If you are dating, if you're on the market and you are dating someone from your own country, stop it. Find an international baddie. Times have never been riper. I really feel like we're mixing and mingling this summer. We got a couple more weeks of the World Cup here in these United States. And so obviously is international dating, but just like enough with the domestic stuff.
Sure. Enough with the domestic stuff for sure.
When you see the first leaf fall, you can date, get back on Hinge and set it to domestic, but not right now. Not this summer. Now.
Well, and also another in of mine is sports, because as we've discussed, it's a sporting summer.
It's a sporting summer.
And so if you are out experiencing the World Cup, potentially mingling with some international brethren, think of what Jodi is saying here.
And I think this could go, I think that if we're thinking meet cutes, this could work, because I do think for summer 2026, pranks, I would just like to be doing a couple more pranks. And I'm not going to tell you what they are, because then they wouldn't be a prank. Nora?
I love pranks. I'm just trying to think of, I think I would rather be doing more pranks in the fall.
Really?
It's like a little too hot for mischief.
Yeah. That's a
But it's really, really hot right now.
Okay, but what if my next in helped you with that?
Okay.
In for summer 2026, sweating. And you just have to think about it that way. This summer, when you're sweating, you just have to be like, whew, am I in vogue?
Yes.
I've done it again.
Yes.
I am sweating, and Nora and Jodi support it.
Hero woman sweats during summer.
Yeah. Can't believe she's done it. And that might help you with your pranks a little bit. Just know that it's very fashionable and stylish of you to be sweating in such a circumstance.
Okay.
But I'd also be happy for the pranks to go into fall.
I'll get this one out of the way. This is another out from me that we've kind of referenced. I've said it before, but I'll say it again here. Walking all day in sandals. I just think that it's a pipe dream and we have to give up on it.
This is a big swing, Nora.
I'm looking for you guys to try to
change the culture in the ending segment of our random podcast.
I know. Look at me logging on and trying to fix women.
Good luck.
I just think that we can change for dinner. We've had the conversation before, but I just want to reiterate it. We can change for dinner.
I love changing for dinner. I mean, I think this is the thing. It's like in forever for me is changing for dinner.
For dinner.
I love changing my clothes. I love debuting a new
Go
look.
off, queen.
That's why I'm never traveling with just a
Jody
carry-on.
Walker stuns in new look for dinner.
I don't know. I'm like, maybe I should save this one, but something I have been noodling on is like out only traveling with a carry-on. I think this culture has, what are we gaining? How often does your luggage really get lost? And like
this I agree with.
They're so mean about carry-ons now that like, and I get it. They built the planes wrong and now we have to deal with it. But like when I check a bag, I'm like, I'm free.
I think there's
nobody's going to get mad at me or be mean to me. And I'll just pick it up at the other airport.
Right. And then there's a whole section of the airport that you don't have to like tote that through as you make your way to the plane.
It's so nice. I'm traveling so light.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to this, I think. To me, my version of this is to approach traveling with a carry-on or not strategically, as opposed to people really act like this is like a moral failing.
Yeah,
if you got
I
a big
can't
suitcase.
pack my shit in a carry-on, unfortunately, I need to change for dinner.
You need to change for dinner, and that's fine. And it shouldn't be treated that way. I do think sometimes, like, if I know that I'm going to be in row 47, it's like a different situation to me than if I think that, like, if I have a chance to really make a quick exit off a plane and be out there really fast, and like maybe you're in a place where if you're going through customs, it could take a long time. I think sometimes it's good to make a strategic choice there. But I
totally agree. And
it's not a moral failing if you need a bigger suitcase. And we need to stop treating people this
strategic. Way. Like there are opportunities for, yes, if you like have and I also think this about seating. It's like if you have a quick change of flight, yeah, you need to be closer to the front. Otherwise, take your time.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine to check a bag and it's fine to sit at the back. And if they're making me pay extra for a seat, it's fine to not choose. Usually it's not a full flight and they put me on an aisles. Doesn't matter. Like, just don't care too much.
Don't care too much.
Let it go a little. Carry on when you need to. Don't when you don't.
I think that's a good one.
My final ones are not related to a single damn thing. So you want to give me one?
You can have oysters at home.
What?
If you go to a place that has a good fish counter, they'll shuck them for you and they'll put them on a bed of ice and you can just take them home. You can whip up a little mignonette and you're going to save a ton of money and it feels so chic and fun.
Yes, I agree. Actually, last summer was a big you can have oysters at home summer for me.
I think I just think that it's like, it's kind of a mind-blowing piece of information the first time it really like cements itself within. And yeah, I think in for summer is having oysters at home. This is, again, it's like we can have these vibes within the comfort of our own homes.
And a very fun thing to do is to bring oysters to a party as like the thing that you're bringing. And then if you're such a person, shuck them for everyone.
Yes. I would like to learn how to shuck oysters, but I don't know how. But you can ask somebody to do it for you. And it's still really impressive to people. And it is not a lot of work. It is just going to the store. You can also have caviar at home, and I actually think it's the only way you should have it.
Oh, the upcharge on caviar is nuts.
I don't think that I've ever ordered caviar in a restaurant.
Same. But a little bit at home is fun.
So chic, Jodi.
You know, I love to be chic, and let me hit you with this one. Out for 2026, incest on TV. It's enough. We've seen it.
Oh, wait, I have another out that I'll add. But yes, we've done it. It's happened. We all watched that season of White Lotus.
And I'm talking about every iteration of brother fucking, whether it is a non-family member fucking brothers or brothers fucking on White Lotus, it's enough. We did it. It was so shocking. It was so shocking. We have been shocked.
Yes. And now we've been shocked into submission.
Exactly. I'm rolling my eyes. In for 2026, submission on TV.
No, I think this one had to be said.
Thank you.
Something has to be done.
This felt like important.
This is perhaps
what did it trigger for you?
Slightly related, because I've been watching House of the Dragon. It's not gonna be out, but just like spiritually, I'm gonna say out for 2026. All of these damn characters have the same name. They didn't all actually have to be named this way. They could have had different names. They could have had names that were more than one letter removed from like their brother and their uncle's name.
Well, they couldn't if they were all fucking the same person in their family. And then it's just
Counterpoint, they could have. If your
Actually,
name is,
more important.
If your name is Joe and your brother's name is Steve, you can still be a brother fucker.
That's true, but not this summer.
Not this summer.
Not this summer.
It's just a current personal gripe.
I appreciate it. I'm also watching Dragons, trying to get back in.
The way that we watch House of the Dragon is that I watch it with Bobby, and every 4 minutes I say, wait, pause. Who's that?
Okay, who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is that? What is their deal?
How much do I know about them?
And what is their name?
And I feel like this season they're bringing in some people I've like only ever seen in rom-coms. I'm like, they can be in this world too?
I know,
okay.
It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay,
I'll watch anything with Matt Smith, though.
He's
in summer 2026.
Matt Smith. Okay. It's just for the summer, guys, so nobody freak out. This is my last one. Out for summer 2026, man on the street interviews. I feel that all interviews are now taking place on the street, and we got to get ourselves back under some lights and in the newsroom, and things just have to get a little more orderly.
And why is it not woman on the street interviews?
And hey, I got a question. I'm going to put on a banner at the top of the Empire State Building. Whatever. Why is nobody ever talking about how it's not woman on the street interview?
I would climb to the top of the Empire State Building with you to unfurl that banner.
Let's do it. In for summer 2026, Jodi and Nora learning how to free climb.
Actually, no.
No, sorry.
Out for summer 2026.
We're not doing that. We're busy. Nora, what do you have? Round us out. Anything left?
Oh, I do have one more in. Forever and for always. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. In for summer 2026, Bottoms Up by Keke Palmer.
It's in every summer.
If I could remind people every day that during the summer months, they would be doing themselves a favor if they were listening and adding to their playlists, Bottoms Up by Keke Palmer, I would do that. And so this is just that's my banner.
I do think that like once the temperatures hit 89, you just got to start hearing in your ears.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Kiki, looking extra. You got to get those bottoms up.
You got to get those bottoms up, bottoms up, bottoms up.
A perfect way to end is frankly with our bottoms up. If you're not watching on video, you should be because they're up. They're up. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Sasha. Honestly, want to give a thanks to myself for getting through this without having an absolute coughing fit.
Feel better, Jodi.
I feel great now. Thank you to the reader. And we will see you back here next week in a post-Taylor Swift wedding world, probably on We Are Obsessed. Bye.